NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Perlo, Wisdom, and Rico and Barry.
What's up, everybody? I am Jeremiah Maxwell, a.k.a. the Sports Beard, your host of NHL Nightly. With me, as always, maybe, is Rico and Barry, our beer league aficionado, our French connection, and our gambling aficionado. We are missing Perlo. We will see. I hadn't heard from him, so I don't know. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, I've got all the scores up to date. We have a bunch of games final. I'll go through those real quick. We'll talk about the weekend and a little bit of fallout from the Ottawa Senators firing DJ Smith, which that's working out as the firing coach boost as they're up 3-0 against the Coyotes in the first intermission. Wild win 4-3 in overtime. I thought the Bruins guy handed a power play at the end of the game there that was pretty sussy. What's up, Logan? Thanks for being with us. Blue Jackets, did you see that score? I hope you had the over.
I think the whole world had the over. Am I coming in blurry right now a bit?
You are coming in blurry. I don't know if that's the Christmas tree or something. Maybe it's trying to focus on that. Maybe slide to your right a little. I don't know. We'll see because it does seem like your camera is trying to focus and maybe the lights or something are affecting it. No biggie. Blue Jackets win 9-4 against the Sabres.
Let me just put it on.
Sabres and Ottawa have to be the most disappointing fan bases in the NHL. 3-6 final. Hurricanes. Wow, I guess we know why the Hurricanes were why the Golden Knights were a road dog. They got worked tonight. Looks like Svechnikov found his game tonight. Scored, I think he had a couple, didn't he? I didn't really check into that game much because it was Flyers winning overtime against the Devils. Lightning 6-1 over the Blues. What a working of the that looks better for whatever reason. Looks way better. No worries though, man. You're not coming in blurry, I don't think.
Flashing.
How about the Lightning 6-1 thrashing of the Blues? Now, I will say I thought the Lightning were on the road a long time, and it was like their first came back home. And I think they're a type of team that plays better at home at times. But bad news for them. Looks like Sergachev left, so hopefully they're not going to miss him for any length of time because he's a pretty important piece. Yeah, Justin Falk broke up the shutout essentially late in the third. Rangers go into Scotiabank and win 5-2. Matthews has 25 goals now on the season, though. He had 2 tonight. He had all of Toronto's offense. But like I said, I thought that as I was telling my good buds friend here, Rico, the Rangers are a different team when they have Keandre Miller in the lineup. They just look better. They're they need him. They can't really be short defense. So Oilers go into the island and get worked 3-1. There was a lot of shots in the third by the Oilers, but I really felt like the Islanders played a great game. And the Islanders are a good team 5-on-5. This is not a Barry Trotz Islanders team. They're an offensive team. I think Lambert's really doing a good job there. And I mean, they're in second place. At some point, you got to go. They got good defense, they got decent goalie, and they got pretty good depth on their team, top 1 through 4, where they got guys that can put the puck in the net. Horvat and Nelson both do. I think Horvat had 2 tonight or what. And how about that Holmstrom kid leading the NHL in shorthanded goals? He has 5 of them. Ferraro was joking there was too many men on the ice. Canucks are working the Preds, which is sad for the Preds because Preds are at home and they were on a 4-game win streak. So I'd like to have seen this be a little bit better of a game. We're not seeing it. That was what the other iPad I was going to get. I might have to request an iPad to be delivered to me. And Avalanche are all tied up with the Blackhawks. That's at intermission. And we have the Senators, like I said, up 3-0. And then at 10:30 Eastern, yeah, Gabby, the Senators are back, huh? Well, they had to make a move. In my opinion, they made the move maybe a month late. I liked bringing in Jacques Martin and seeing maybe what the feel was. It looks like he's going to be the interim coach for the rest of the year. and then I always think of this as a really good matchup, even though the Sharks aren't Kings and Sharks. That's such a great rivalry. That's the 10:30 Eastern puck drop. That game should be starting shortly. And I'm trying to get that up, but it's not letting me because we're not close, I guess. What was the so I have Blackhawks, Canucks, and boy, they start those games in Nashville late for being on Central Time, huh? Nashville should not be in the West. They literally should not be in the West. I think they need to get rid of the conferences, is my opinion. They need to go to regional divisions and just get rid of the conferences. So I don't know. I'd like to see like a 5-team divisions, and I don't know. And then you reseed based on record and stuff. That would be my thing. So what was your weekend?
Mine was good, man. I didn't finished off a little Christmas shopping. The old Starbucks up the road, and all the expensive coffee mugs were all 50% off, so they're still overpriced but bearable. So I grabbed my wife her annual Christmas coffee mug from over there, and what I ended up picking up, which might be a good gift she's gonna like, is one of those water flossers, like a dental grade water flosser. So I picked one of those up at Costco, and I figured, it's just such a pain in the ass flossing, and dentists are always pushing those things to say they're a little better than flossing your teeth. They're a little easier on the gums, and they get in there a little better. It's almost like when a dentist sprays that thing in your mouth, they're just kind of cleaning out your teeth, sort of thing. So hopefully she didn't hear me. She's sleeping on the couch.
Oh, but you get her the same thing every year, so she's gonna know you're getting a cup, huh?
Well, not the flossing thing though. I got her one of those too, like that water.
Yeah. It's funny to me that we live in different countries, but like Costco is a staple here. My couch is from Costco. It's like it ain't that different. We watch hockey. Maybe there's a little more French speaking going on in Canada than there is in the US, a lot more, but it's not that different, man. We all people from this worth. There's not that much that divides us.
Well, you got to go through Canada to get back to the US anyway. So
I do have to go if I drive. I could barge it, or I could fly out for sure. I've never driven that Alcan, by the way. So Nashville on the power play. Let's see what happens. I'm interested. Colorado, man. Frank Saravelli just tweets this out, and I'm going to retweet it for him. He says, Bedard is unreal tonight. Impressive effort, severely outmatched Blackhawks team against the Avs. I think he has 2 assists. He is impressive. Get him a winger. And you know what? Lucas Reichel had a goal tonight too, from a feed from Bedard. You're going to see this kid, all those young kids just grow. But I think he's going to explode. And honestly, his numbers look real good. They showed the first, I think Ovechkin led the first 25 games with like 34 points or something. And they were showing, I think I saved it on Instagram, but I'm not sure if it's this one.
I had the Lucas Reichel goal prop tonight. That paid like 5-1.
That's awesome. That's awesome. If you put $10 on that, does that make $500 or
$50?
Is that $500?
But I mean, $50. He was playing on the first line with Bedard, and he's paying 5-1 to get a goal. It's like, why won't you?
I mean, that's where you want that kid. Ultimately, I'm sure that's where they want to see him play, because he's no spring chicken or anything. I mean, he's young, but he's like 22 or something, isn't he? Here, let me look him up. I'll look him up here. Reichel, Reichel. Of course, his dad pops up.
Yeah, just like Eichel with an R.
Yeah, I got him. Yeah, Eichel with an R, yeah. Oh, we lost you there. Oh, Everything good? Oh, you taking a?
Oh yeah.
So he is 21 and 216 days. Born in Nuremberg. May 17th. He's a May baby like me. So
Me too.
Lucas Reichel.
Are you a Taurus?
No, Gemini.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm a Taurus because I'm the last day of Taurus. I'm May 20th.
Unbelievable Leafs game, Andrew? Did you get to watch it? Yeah, like I said, I thought. Did you watch the Leafs game, Rico? Do you got any thoughts on that game?
I did. I mean, one thing you got to stay away from, and that's just rating a book of the Rangers, is stay away from their special teams, man. I mean, they didn't give up any penalties tonight. That helped. The Leafs were never on the power play, but you can't put the Rangers on the power play. And that last penalty by David Kampf basically iced it when it was 4-2. There was no chance of them come back. I mean, that one puck went off Lageson's skate that Panarin shot, and I mean, a couple bounces here and there, and then that breakaway, I can't remember who it was that put it up, and he was trying to go top shelf, and it went through Jones's leg. So it felt like there was a couple that he could have had that kind of weren't entirely his fault. But I mean, I didn't mind Martin Jones. He's a pretty technical goalie. I think the ones that go in on him most of the time are going to be deflections or off someone or maybe one that he just didn't have a read on. So I think he's going to make most of the staves he had to. But I mean, on Tavares's, it was Johnny Toronto night. It was trending in Canada on Twitter. I mean, it would have been nice to get him the win, but I know that the Leafs went into MSG and won 7-3. I'm sure the Rangers, coming off a win against Anaheim and Boston, they were feeling pretty good, and they had this one marked on their calendar as well too, I think. So played a great game. Rangers are a good team, man. They're top three in the East. I put the Rangers right there. So I mean, if the Leafs are competing with a team like the Rangers every night, win or lose, I mean, you know, I'd say maybe top 5 in the East. You could put the Leafs there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Toronto's in the top 3, but I definitely think they're in the top 5. Right now for me, it's probably shoot. You know, let me look at the standings, because I really want to say it's Boston. I still think Boston, because of their defense and their goaltending, is just going to carry them in the playoffs. But I do think their forward group is a little streaky. So, you know, in that regard, you kind of like the Leafs there. But and the thing for the Leafs is I feel like they have a ton of points from extra. So right now, for me, man, I really think it's Florida, Rangers, and Boston. And I think your Leafs are probably right there at number 4. And really, honestly, I think those are probably the legit contenders for the Cup in the East, are those 4 teams. But the Leafs, I mean, it was Martin Jones tonight. You got to be a little bit scared about your goaltending, and your defense is starting to look like it is running a little thin. I thought they did get a little unlucky with that bounce off Lagesson. The first goal seemed like that was a kind of a fluky one too. But like I said, you heard Valaket today on Sportsnet 590. The Rangers are really bad in one area, and that's off the rush. And that's where the Leafs are really good. And I thought they took really good advantage of that in New York and MSG. And tonight, the Rangers limited their off the rush chances. And like you said, they didn't give a lot of chances on the power play or anything. They didn't take any penalties. The Rangers are a fairly physical team, but they don't take penalties, which is smart. And they're very good on the power play. They're very good on the penalty kill. Austin Matthews continues to amaze. I heard somebody say he's on a faster pace than Ovechkin, and that's great. It's just like I say when I hear you don't have to wear your headphones if you don't want to, Rico, either. You're good if you're coming in okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm good. I'm actually talking through my laptop anyway. I had the Leafs post game. I just wanted to hear something real quick from JD Bunkus and Sammy McKee there. They were just talking in.
Yeah, what did they say? What did Sammy say?
They were just saying the same thing. Sammy actually didn't mind Martin Jones's game tonight, like I had mentioned. There was a couple that kind of went against, you know, whatever. It wasn't entirely.
And you cannot blame the goalie.
It was the defensive breakdown. He said it's just Connor Timmins is going to do one of those stupid things in the playoffs like he did tonight. That stupid giveaway for that breakaway.
Oh, on Jimmy Vesey. I tweeted out Connor Timmins just gave Jimmy Vesey an awesome scoring chance.
Yeah,
he just gave up the puck.
And he does that all the time. Timmins, he's usually good for maybe one a game. It's like, man.
Andrew thinks the Rangers will be the next champs. I'm starting to lean that, that they could be a Stanley Cup team and win it. This household wouldn't be sad because of my wife being such a diehard Rangers fan. But but you know what though, man? They've been in the mix for a while. They were in the conference finals 2 years ago, and then last year it was a kind of a brutal start to the playoffs, and they were up 2-0 on New Jersey. And I just feel like New Jersey outplayed them and outcoached them. And I don't think that's going to be the case this year, So who was the coach for the Rangers last year, though?
Wasn't it Gallant?
Was it Gallant, and then they fired him? I did feel bad that he got canned, but it was like, So I think we got Perlo. I don't see him, so.
No, I like the Rangers game. You got the goaltending there. Panarin's been a changed player there as well too. I don't know. He shaved his head to change his luck over there just to kind of make himself a different person, because that long-haired Panarin wasn't the player he is now when he got to New York. So,
well, here's what I've noticed in his game, and Valaket mentioned this a little bit, but I've noticed this. He's not playing as perimeter as he was last year. He's getting the puck into the difficult areas, and he's getting the puck to people in the difficult areas, which I think is a key. And yeah, he looks like a man possessed, but you still want to see that alpha dog and stuff. So there, let me see what's going on with Perlo. Perlo, I see your girlfriend's house, but I don't see you. You there? Okay. Drop him out. I don't know. I want to catch him. So the other team is, so those are the teams I like in the West. I think the Leafs you could say are in the top four, and I know
sorry, Beard, real quick on the Rangers before you move west is they did the rebuild right. They kind of did it like the Kings. They kind of did the rebuild on the fly. It's like Pittsburgh should have almost did that with Crosby and Malkin. Instead, they just kept going all in, and they just didn't have it down 2 or 3 years where they weren't bottoming out, but they were kind of mid a little bit and just drafting right and trading right. And, they had the right goalie in the wings as well, too, with Shesterkin right behind Lundqvist. So that kind of helped as well. I think that's a good thing that the Rangers did. They put a solid foundation there, and that, like, the New York Rangers have always had a good goaltender. When's the last time the Rangers haven't had like a solid goaltender in the pipes?
Well, it's before I can remember, because in the 90s they had Van Beesbroek and Richter, and then they lost Van Beesbroek to free agency, or they traded him to Florida or whatever. He was in the expansion draft. Then Van Beesbroek takes Florida to the Cup Finals in '96. So they had Richter forever. So like they go from Richter. And then, I think probably in the early 2000s, in between Richter and stuff, they probably didn't have it. Once they traded Leach and stuff, they went through a little bit of lull. I can't think of anybody specifically who goaltended back then for them. But, they had the King for 15 years or whatever. So they've been very fortunate. You think about Toronto, I'll be honest with you, man. The last time I felt like Toronto had a grade A goaltender was like Eddie Belfour, right? And they had him after Cujo. And I think Cujo, too, and I even think Cujo probably spent his best years in St. Louis and Edmonton. So it's like even the Cujo, here we got Perlo now. Hey, Perlo. We're just we're just talking about the the Edmonton, or the Toronto Rangers game a little bit here real quick. So he was asking me when the last time the Rangers didn't have a good goaltender, and I was trying to think back. It's been very hard for me to think. They had Beezer and Richter around the same time in the 90s, and then I can't think of who they had. Well, I talked to Mike Richter at the Frozen Four. I don't know if I've mentioned that probably 500 times on this podcast now, but what a great guy. 96 Canada Cup, USA. That's probably the best Canadian team ever assembled, and we win. I mean, we by the US won. I always take pride in that one. Not we for Perlo and Rico, but we. And hopefully we get something done here. World Juniors kick off tonight, right?
Yeah.
Did they kick off tonight?
And the United States are the best team out there right now, for sure. No doubt.
Well, but I saw that Potra from Boston's going to be playing. Obviously, they didn't land Fantilli. Did you have the over, Perlo, on the Columbus Blue Jackets?
Oh, yeah.
Perlo, slide to that light is coming through.
I know that light's going back there.
Yeah, you're good. Once your head blocks it, it's okay. It's not shining. It just
I did have the over, but not for enough. I should have had it for way more than I did. But
oh God, dude, nobody would have picked what was that? Was that 13 goals that was scored?
I mean, Marchenko got a hat trick.
Dude, he has been sneakily good on that team. I
had Marchenko for a goal and a point in that, so that was good.
Hey, are we seeing the emergence of this guy now that Laine's not there? Because, with Laine, they're paying him. You think the top line. And honestly, what do you do with Laine if you're Columbus? Because you probably want to try to trade him, but who would take the contract? And it's tough. Okay, so Perlo, I was asking Rico about his weekend. How was yours?
It was great. I had a wonderful weekend. Spent a lot of time with the little lady, and that was pretty much it. Like it was, we've been going hard for the last little while, so we kind of took her easy on this past weekend.
That's good. That's good. It's always nice to do nothing on a weekend.
Yeah.
All I've been doing is snow removal, and we're getting more snow, so I'll be doing that again. It's not going to stop till 4 a.m. So
wow.
I'll be doing
I can't believe we're not getting the snow. We're not getting much snow. How are you doing there, Rico, with the snow?
We're not either, man. I snowblowered my driveway like once this year. Then it snowed a little bit yesterday, but it was mostly like wind and blowing it around. So like not more than like 3 centimeters. We've been getting lucky, but it always happens like that in Barrie. We're in a bit of a snow belt here because we're between the Great Lakes and Lake Simcoe here. So once like mid-January to late February hits, it's just nonstop every day.
I'm watching Colorado, Chicago right now.
Yeah, Chicago sure plays their asses off. I am such a huge fan of that Luke Richardson, man. I just knew that guy was going to be a good coach. I remember him as a player too. You always loved those guys that were like third line, ridiculous centers that ran 70% of their face off. Yeah. So all the snow you guys aren't getting, we're getting. Andrew, I do not know how many inches we've gotten, but I can tell you it's the most snow we've had through this time in like forever. In recorded history, which usually means they've been recording stuff up here for, I don't know, since the 1800s or something. So like 100 years or whatever. I don't know. You wonder how accurate things are or whatever. I think pretty much from the 60s or whatever. We're getting a lot of snow. It's an El Nino year. Every time I see El Nino, I think of that old Saturday Night Live skit with Chris Farley, and he's like, I am El Nino. El Nino works that way in the wintertime. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm so impressed. Even though the Blackhawks haven't won a game and they're 2-7 in their last 2-7-1 their last 10, they've lost 4 in a row, but they still have a better goal differential than the Sharks. So, those two teams are competing for Macklin Celebrini. I'll tell you, there'll be riots in the streets if the Chicago Blackhawks get Macklin Celebrini. I'll just say that. or Calabrini or whatever, if they get the number 1 pick again, I mean, people were already kind of salty. I think the fans of the NHL were going to lose it if the Yotes got him too. But the Yotes actually kind of played too well last year. That was the problem. So in this year, they look good. I think we were just talking about the top 4 teams in the West before you came, or the East before you came on. Currently, the Coyotes are in a playoff spot. Your playoff seats are Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg are your division leaders for the Central. Vegas, Vancouver, Los Angeles, and then your 2 wild cards are Nashville, Arizona. Right behind them, though, are St. Louis and Calgary. And then Minnesota coming up. They just hit 500 today with their win in Boston. Don't sleep on the Minnesota Wild.
Gotta say, that's an impressive win by Minnesota. I didn't see.
They should have won in reg too, Perlo. I watched a lot of that third period, and they got Boston got handed kind of a BS power play, and then they were sort of lucky they didn't get called for interference on the goal. I kind of thought it was. You could tell Fleury also let in a soft one for. I think Pasternak had 2. By the way, I wanted to talk about that before I get off track. Did you guys think Pasternak deserved a suspension from that hit on Lindgren from the Rangers? I mean, he got kicked out of the game.
No, I just go with whatever they do myself. I'm not very good at whether I think they should get a suspension.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a suspension, but I know Larkin for Detroit had some pretty hefty words for Department of Player Safety today. And basically saying he's talked to players on his team and he's talked to players around the league and not knowing what they're calling and what they're not, and how to protect yourself, more importantly, because he got a punch to the back of the head and somebody else fell on his legs after, and Joseph didn't get any games and Perron got sick. So I guess Larkin was just saying he was just going after the puck and he was just trying to make a play in the front of the net, and all of a sudden he gets punched in the back of the head. And I think he's calling out the Department of Player Safety. So I mean, a guy like Pasternak, no real history, not intentional. Joseph, a little bit more of a history.
Pasternak's been suspended before.
Has he?
Yeah. No, he's been suspended before. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a mean. Andrew says he'd give him 2 or 3 games. I don't know if it was that much, Andrew. I thought he should have got a game. I thought it was a pretty dirty hit from behind, and he injured the player. The guy Lindgren didn't come back. Now, that being said, I think it was like the first period he got thrown out or whatever. So Boston played basically the whole game without him. If the player safety wanted to look at it, like I just always feel like those hits where you see the numbers, and it was also an unnecessary hit. I think there was like 10 seconds left of the period. It was just a joke of a hit. So I always wonder. Pred score a late goal, make it 5-2, but that game's all but over. 11 seconds left in the third.
The way the league's going now, just when you err on the side of caution, just don't make the hit. Like if there's any doubt in your mind that it may be a little bit on the edge, just don't even do it. Like I see so many guys skate by someone, and I look, I'm like, this guy would have got leveled 20 years ago, and he didn't. So, there's a hint of doubt. I know the game's faster and everything now, but I know when guys are out there, and unless you're Trouba and you're lining up a guy and you know you're going to get him in the chest, he's probably the guy that's making the cleanest hits out there. I mean, McCabe for Toronto, when he wants to lay one on someone, he can do it as well too. Yeah, I've seen it a couple nights ago.
Yeah, he had a really nice one against Lindgren, in fact. Mm-hmm. The same guy that got hit by I felt bad for Lindgren because there's like 4 videos of him getting shit knocked out of him. I was like, oh, what the hell is going on with Lindgren, man? He's getting destroyed. A little disappointed with Arizona lately, but we knew Ottawa was going to get the bump there. It's still 3-1 there in the second.
Perlo, you should have bet your girlfriend's house and the fireplace and the piano on Ottawa tonight.
I sort of did. I should have bet way more than I did, but I did take Ottawa. Here's the thing. When hockey was where it was supposed to be, we wouldn't be talking about what player safety was supposed to do. What we'd be talking about is how is that person going to get destroyed the next time they play? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you used to police the game.
That's where we need to go back to again. If you do that stuff, you're going to get destroyed the next game. Like, and that's where the problem is in the league. Player safety is never going to solve this problem, ever. The only way they're going to solve this problem is they're going to take away hitting. They're going to take away all the things that cause them a problem. And
so here's what I'll say in regards to the Larkin play, because I see, Doug, I see your comment there, but I'm not going to get into this thing. I look at it. I thought the Larkin play against Ottawa was an accidental play. I do not think he was being targeted. I just think it was a bad play. The hit Pasternak made on Lindgren was a dirty hit. He didn't have to do it. I felt like there was sort of yes, what's his name had his stick up a little high and got Larkin, but I just think it was an unfortunate result and it sucks. And I know Red Wings fans are not having it. I wish Salty was here to talk about it. They were pissed. But I didn't think it was a dirty play. I do think that you can, when you look back at some of those things, you can be like, but in the heat of the moment, I understood why Perron did what he did, but he cross-checked the guy in the face. Now, that being said, David Perron never been suspended before in his career ever. Should not have gotten 6 games for defending his player. But, I just watch sometimes, too. They call these nicky tic-tac bullshit and then let some of these big, really blatant calls go. So I don't understand. It's just a weird thing. I just think fans want consistency. And honestly, I'll just take consistency on the given night from that officiating crew. If they're calling nitnoid tacky stuff, do it the whole game. Don't just do it in the first. When the other team's on the PK or whatever, it is what it is. So, okay, let's get into the topic of David Quinn. Not David Quinn. David Quinn, good coach. No, your guys' thoughts. I don't know if we spent any time talking about it. The firing of DJ Smith and the hiring of Jacques Lemaire once again. Go ahead, Rico, since you're good.
Yeah, well, I mean, timing was everything here. A lot of people said, why did they do it on the road trip, in the middle of a road trip? But DJ Smith has been getting booed out of his own building at his home games. So I think that's probably why they did it on the road. So he wouldn't come back home and all of a sudden Ottawa losing again, then he hears it. So I think that was the timing. That's what I had questioned myself at first about it. Like, why would they do it in the middle of a road trip? But Ottawa's played some tough opponents lately too. Like, if you look at the last few games, who Ottawa has played, they haven't really gotten blown out, I don't think, in many of them. They played some tough opponents. So on the other hand, it was imminent. I think he was going to go. So I think this was the right time for him. But a lot of people think that Jacques Martin's been out of the game for a while. He hasn't. He's been in Pittsburgh for about 7 years, I think, and then the Rangers, I think, a couple of years ago. So he's kind of still been in the game as well, too, which is good. So, I mean, having him and Alfie on the bench, and it was just kind of weird that they brought in Martin to just oversee things, and then Alfredsson was on the bench in Sweden for those 2 games as well, too, as an assistant coach. So whether you're reading between the lines or not there, the change looked like it was going to come. But I think it's...
They should have done it, in my opinion, after that trip.
Yeah, probably. Some say it's too early. Some say it's too late. Probably too late for Ottawa. I mean, you're going into the Christmas break now. So I don't know if Alfie's going to become the head coach eventually, if he wants to do it. He's good at it, what their strategies is. But the main thing I'm taking away here is the way Ottawa plays and their structure and Martin's strengths. There's 3 of them. He's detailed, he's organized, and he's structured. Those are the 3 things that have the biggest issues on that ice in Ottawa right now. So I think he's going to bring that to that team, and hopefully those players respond.
Yeah, I think I know we have Gabby Oates in the chat, diehard Senators fan. I speak for hockey fandom when I am like, let's get Ottawa good. Like, I want to see them in the playoffs. I want to see some Toronto, Ottawa, Battle of Ontario first round, second round matchups. Those teams would be fun. And yeah, Perlo, your thoughts on the DJ Smith firing? You have to unmute, Perlo. You're muted. You're muted.
I haven't been talking well about DJ Smith for a while. And, he probably should have been let go. My thing is not here about the fact that DJ Smith was fired, but Martin was hired. You couldn't get a more opposite coach than DJ Smith with Martin. I mean, this guy is going to, I don't know how these players are going to react. I mean, this guy is going to preach defense like you don't, like, above most coaches. This is going to be a defensive team. If you're bringing Martin in, I mean, I don't know how Tkachuk is going to respond to this. This is a guy who is a pure offensive player. Stützle, pure offensive player. And he's going to be preaching them to play defense like crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust. If any of them wanted DJ Smith out, they're hating life right now, because I don't know. It really is going to be a difficult transition from.
I'll say this, Perlo. I don't think that was the case. Not to cut you off there. It sounded like, for sure, what Frank Saravelli and other reporters have reported on.
I agree.
Is that the players love DJ Smith?
Yeah.
And they wanted him, there, but hey man, you got to show it with your play too, right?
The guy that is not a good X's and O's guy. He's a great player guy. He likes offense. He wants to play offense. His whole system is pure offensive possession, and then after that, we'll see what we can do until we get back to that. And Martin is the exact opposite. So I don't know how they're going to respond to Martin, man. This guy is like John Hines, he's that type of coach. He's if you don't play defense for him, you are not playing. Simple as that. So
Chicago just scored to go up 3-2. By the way,
wow.
Jason Dickinson, boy, he's been good for them. By the way, too.
Yeah.
Like crazy
with a lot of heart. Yeah. And I didn't take anything in this game. Not a thing. I don't even think I took a prop in this game. So.
Yeah. So I did
the Lucas Reichel goal prop, dude. I got it 5-1, and he hit.
Yeah.
He hit it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that great? Did you get that from the Ice Guys or?
Yeah, I usually watch that show.
Oh, Logan saying it was Tyler Johnson. Thank you, Tyler. It was Tyler Johnson. Thank you, Logan. I did have that wrong. It was Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson. I always think I can't say what makes me always remind me of Tyler Johnson. I'll just say it's a funny,
one thing I will mention about this.
Thank you, Andrew.
If you bring Martin in, and like it was like 2 weeks before they hired Martin, and like you really were hoping that they wouldn't name him as coach. That's a really weird spot that you would hire this ex guy that's an inside guy with Ottawa. Like basically they were putting the heat on. Would you look at it this way? Does it seem like they were putting the heat on Smith by hiring Martin? Like, okay, your days are numbered. You got to do something, or we're putting Martin in. Does that feel like that for you?
I got the impression that DJ Smith had worked with Martin before, and I just think they were looking for a different set of eyes. I actually thought it was a very good move by Stales. You've got this really well-respected coach that has been a great head coach and assistant coach. Just get a different set of eyes. What are you seeing from a team that many expected to be competing for a playoff spot, and they're basically one of the bottom teams in the East? I didn't hate the idea of bringing in a smart, and just because you're 71 doesn't mean your life's over. I think he's very well respected in the community and stuff. I think, probably he's not the long-term solution there. Today, Rico can tell you, Kiprio said, it was it yesterday or today, if his group was the group that bought the Senators, his recommendation, if he had his say, was that he would have hired Patrick Waugh. I love that hiring. I think that's exactly what I think would need them. I think Waugh has adjusted his coaching style too, based on his son-in-law being on Chicklets talking about how he's not the same as he was even in Colorado. I think a lot of people were surprised, and Elliot Friedman said this too, that the way Waugh walked away from Colorado left some people's bad taste in the mouth. But look, we see so many coaches get 2, 3, 4, 5 chances. Patrick Waugh deserves another chance to head coach in this league, especially coming off a Memorial Cup win. He beat a heavily favored team with his Quebec Ramparts, right? If I'm incorrect, let me know. But a hot take. I want to have you on to talk some of this trade stuff. Let's do it another time. I just feel like I really want to finish the thoughts on this DJ Smith thing. But I definitely, I didn't hate the move. And it did sound like DJ Smith was comfortable with Jacques Montana. He'd worked with him before in other situations. He had to know his days were numbered, right? I mean, it felt like maybe they should have started the season with him, but they didn't want to have too much change with the ownership. I did like that the new ownership group came in and was like, we're not going to do too much. They didn't fire Doring right away, and then they lose the first-round pick. There's all this stuff with Pinto and all this other drama. Like, why didn't they prioritize signing Pinto instead of bringing in guys like Korpisalo and Tarasenko? But those are, and they gave Korpisalo the bag. And now the new Steos is going to be hiring a general manager and probably a coach next year. So I just really think they should do it right. And I think that owner seems like you can look at the organizations that are successful. So I think, but like I said, I agree with you, Perlo. They'll definitely be way more structured and way more of a defensive team. They need that. They're not getting that. Did you guys happen to see the video from a few weeks back from who's the tough guy? Brendan Gallagher from Montreal talking a little bit about Stützle. I thought that was real. Did you guys see that? Let me see if I can find that.
No, I saw the Saravelli one when he sat down with Chychrun, and Chychrun was saying that he had a huge issue with his hockey equipment, eh? Like, he had a hard time getting his skates to fit on like one of his feet and ended up getting a bone spur from it. And then I guess one night in Chicago, he got skates at the local pro shop, and he ended up wearing these stock skates, he said, for the rest of the year. And I guess he just had these stupid little injuries and then that one required surgery along with the wrist and other stuff. I saw on Saravelli's Twitter earlier today that he sat down with Jacob Chychrun. It was actually a nice little interview.
Yeah, I want to watch that. I saw that. So here's this is a minute clip here. Real quick. What the hell?
What a time for Adam Henrique to start heating up a little bit too, eh?
Yeah, 4 goals in his last 2 games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, third line center on a cup contender.
Yeah, I mean, he was on a cup team, wasn't he? Wasn't he on that team that the Devils went to the finals with? Why can't I think of the Russian guy that played for Atlanta forever? That was
Kovalchuk.
Perlo, you're muted again.
Kovalchuk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's what keeps happening. All right, here we go. This is by By the way, I love this hat Brendan Gallagher has. Hold on. I'm going to do this. We'll just do this full screen. Okay, here we go. Here's Brendan Gallagher's comments on Stützle. And I wanted your guys' opinion on this, so. Is it not going to let me do this? There we go.
Here's something. Mrazek's value, like if you're watching the Chicago game. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're going to post it. Oh.
Here you go.
Watch that.
He acts like he's hurt. He sells a call. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing. It really helps. You know what? When I was 10 years old, our coach had a rule: if you lay on the ice, and we didn't have trainers, if the coach had to come on the ice and get you,
You better be hurt.
they would sit for minimum 3 years. He's a great player. Played against him for 2-3 years now. More than half the games we played against him, he laid on the ice, and he's right back out there next shift. He lays on the ice. He's on the ice that same power play. There's kids watching. We're role models. If I was a teammate of his, I'd tell him to smarten up.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Unless he's initially concussed, where you're actually unconscious, you're either hurt or you're injured. I mean, players play hurt. If it's something where it's not a big deal, and only Stützle knows that. Maybe he just felt something that he wouldn't be able to just get right back up from, and we'll never know that. Maybe it's just something where initially he said, this is a problem and I shouldn't move. Or if it's not, and you're trying to draw a penalty, or you don't want to have that reputation in the league, especially as a young player, you do not want to have that reputation. So that's where the gray line is there.
By the way, in the last 2 Leaf games, I've seen Marner take dives. He needs to watch it too. He took a dive tonight. I was like, that was a dive. What is he doing? He's too good of a skater and too good of a player to be taking dives, my opinion. So don't kill me, Leafs Nation, but I did think Marner was.
That's when you start getting chirped around the league, and you don't want to start getting chirped from other players.
Did you see the play I'm talking about, Rico, where he kind of fell? But the defenseman was in front of him, and he fell off of him like he took a dive, and it was the puck was played with a high stick, so the refs were like, they blew the whistle. I think Marner thought he was getting a penalty, not for diving, but he drew one, and he should have got one for diving. I want to see the NHL officials crack down on taking dives again. They were doing that.
It's hard to do, but that certain thing that Gallagher was talking about, I mean, yeah, he was totally right on there. But it's not like Stützle is all of a sudden has continued to do that after that. But he was right. Stützle
was this from this season? Was this? I had not seen that video before. I thought that was recent.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, but he didn't do it. He hasn't been known to do it before, and he hasn't did it really since. But he did it then. And I applaud Gallagher for coming out and saying, like, that's ridiculous, dude. You're gonna act like that. It looks bad on the league. I mean, we're not stalker here. Like, if you're hurt, you're hurt. If you're not, you're not. Simple as that.
Yeah, and it's not gamesmanship either, because in hockey, when somebody goes down, the play goes on. It's not like baseball where the ball is on the ground and the play's dead, or football, the ball's out of their hands and it goes somewhere on and hits the ground, the play's dead. In hockey, the play carries on because the puck is always on the ice, and like most other sports. And this is what I'm thinking. And some people will maybe think that it's gamesmanship, but there's times when I played hockey growing up and somebody went into the boards in overtime and it went down to like 4-on-4 and stuff, and the guy laid down and he looked up because the other team is going the other way and they were probably going to score, and all the team had to do is put a hand on the puck or a stick on the puck, and the ref would blow the whistle down. So
you know what I'd like to see called as well? They need to start waving more icings off. I see these defensemen not take a direct line, skate all slow, like they don't know where the puck is, and they need to. No, sorry, you're not getting the icing call. Sorry, I don't like it. I think it's garbage.
Yeah, the whole trying to make it look like you're tired thing.
So I know Hot Take popped in earlier, and I really appreciate him bringing up. I don't really want to talk about trades because right now, that as it was brought up by Gabby, I think earlier in the show, I said we would talk a little bit about maybe some moves that could potentially happen. But we know that the NHL has officially had their holiday freeze, right? So that's from now till the 28th, correct? So we're not going to see anybody traded. Or moved until basically the end of the month or the new year. And I hate to say it for teams like the Leafs that have a lot of needs. One, what are you going to trade, Toronto? You don't have much to trade in the regards, unless you want to give up more first-round picks, which I would not want if I was you. And you're not going to you don't have any seconds. And are you going to – Robertson looks like he's played pretty well and inserted in the lineup. Maybe you need that guy as a third-line winger. I don't know. So I feel like we're going to get a better feel for what's happening. When there's an empty net, no icing, I think it should be implemented. Well, yeah, Doug, I'm kind of okay with it too. But we're getting a lot of games tied. Well, and my thing is too, we're getting a lot of games tied. I think too now more teams are shooting the puck because the analytics say shoot the puck. So that's why you're seeing a lot of teams that aren't taking the puck out and trying to get it beyond the blue line. And usually if you get it beyond the blue line, you're going to score in an empty net anyway, right? Perlo, what are your thoughts?
Well, you're talking about as far as icing is concerned?
Yeah, just like the hybrid icing, or his question was, here, I'll throw it up on the thing. He said when there's an empty net, no icing. He thinks regardless.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I think that when there's an empty net, no icing, I think, should be implemented. Whenever there's an empty net, yeah, regardless of the situation, you can just ice the puck, and that's it. I guess on the other side of it, it creates more offense if you don't do that. So it does create more offense if you have it. It takes a skill to be able to tap that puck down so it's not an icing at the same time. So in that way, maybe I don't agree. Like, it does create a lot more offense, and so
when you're getting when you have those over-unders, right, that you're trying to hit, sometimes that
if I'm looking from a betting perspective,
yeah, that empty net is super helpful,
sure.
Right?
No doubt about it. That changes the dynamic for sure, no doubt. But I think that the reason why they have that is that the icing is implemented is it does create more offense. It creates more opportunity for the team to tie it up. So I don't think it'll ever change, but I do get why you're saying that. I do get why you're saying that for sure. It gives more opportunity for a team to tie it up, and it makes more intrigue in the game. So I don't think it'll ever change.
Yeah, no, it is an interesting dynamic there, Doug. By the way, speaking of empty nets, Colorado has one. I'm trying to get this. I do not know what's going on with my feed here. I was trying to get the Arizona game to come up too.
I'm trying to get the Kings San Jose game.
Yeah, that's on 9 minutes. It's working. But Arizona, that's 3-1. Oh, it's at intermission anyway, so we're probably okay. Going into the third, that at the Mully. Oh, shot from the point by Colorado and his stick broke. No power play or anything here, so we're going to see what happens. Colorado has been woefully insufficient to me this year, even though McKinnon's on like a 16-game point streak. No doubt McKinnon, Makar, Rantanen are great players, They're just they don't look like Stanley Cup champions to me.
No,
I
agree. Totally agree.
So, and
I
know you were saying something about Mrazek. I think what we'll do is after the holiday break, and we'll probably take some time off next week. I'll look at the schedule here. But the way we take let me look at this. Let's look December. So yeah, I mean, we'll do the podcast all the way up until the 22nd this week, all the way through Friday. Let's get Rico back in. Rico, we're just talking about Christmas break here. Probably good with streaming the rest of the week here. And then next week, you guys, what's your schedule looking like next week? What do you guys got? You got anything going on or?
Same old for me. I might be going to Ottawa for the weekend to visit the wife's side of the family. So
no, that doesn't affect the stream though, so that's fine.
Probably maybe Friday night. I'll probably be in Ottawa Friday night, but I'll still have a computer and I'll bring my cam there. So everybody's usually in bed by around 10 o'clock there. So
okay, yeah. So yeah, I just figure we plan on streaming the rest of the week and then maybe come back Wednesday next week on the 27th. Because isn't there a game break anyway? Isn't there going to be some?
I'm just wondering if the Senators are in town, because last time I went there, we drove through Canada because we drive there and we have to drive right past the Sens Arena.
They're not there. Not on the 22nd.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. There's games on the 23rd. Yeah, so guys, I think we will take break from the 20. So we will take the 24th off, which is Sunday. We're not going to work that anyway. And we won't come back till Wednesday, the 27th. So essentially next week, we'll just have a 3-day week on the stream side. Because there are no games on the 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Yeah.
So Saturday, the 23rd are the last of the games. So Friday, we'll preview the Saturday games, and then everybody have a Merry Christmas. Appreciate everybody coming. We're moving and shaking. We're going. We're grooving.
Two Christmases ago, we drove through Canada, and I'm like, honey, do you mind dropping me off at the hockey game? She's like, no. Her sister lives like 20 minutes up the road. So I end up watching Washington and Ottawa.
Well, Saturday, if you're there the weekend, Saturday, the Penguins are in town. So you could go to the Penguins and Senators game.
Ooh.
So you could go to that game on Saturday, the 23rd. It's just not Friday. And that's a day game, too. That's a day. Well, no, that's a 7 p.m. game. That's a 7 p.m. game for you.
LA looks like they're driven to win this game here. I think LA's going to – I think I might put a live bet on LA here. They're not screwing around with San Jose here at all.
Well, they shouldn't, because San Jose's been a dangerous team.
Yeah.
You don't want to. Oh, it's getting chippy in Chicago.
Yeah, what's LA in regulation right now? I think I would take it, but I mean, it's probably not.
Hey, Salty, thanks for being with us. Appreciate you.
Oh,
Ryan Johansson.
Stuff.
Ryan Johansson, what?
Oh, he's getting chippy. Ryan Johansson was getting into it with, I don't know. They're all getting chippy, man. It's getting real chippy. Johansson was going after, damn, it looks like he hit the ref.
LA and Reg minus 140, Perlo.
Take it. I'm going to take it. Well, you can take it if you want. I don't want to do that because last time I told you that it didn't work out well. So.
Yeah, he got the boot. Ryan Johansson got kicked out of the game.
Taken. LA in regulation is live bet from Perlo Wisdom.
For what?
Live bet from Perlo Wisdom, LA in regulation.
Okay. I'll put that up on the thing here. Hold on.
Done. The Blackhawks are beating the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, it's over, I think. It's
going to be. I didn't put anything on that game. And
the last time Chicago beat Colorado was 3-2 in Chicago. That was the last time they beat the Avalanche.
I didn't put anything on that game because, I agree with Beard here. Colorado does not look like they're really that good right now.
So I heard a rumor today, since I know we weren't going to talk trades, but it involves Colorado. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Pearl.
Oh, no, go. I want to hear the trade.
Lindholm to Colorado, but again, Calgary's in the mix. They're right there in the playoff spot. I just don't see them trading their their top line center away.
Well, the only reason why they're trading him is if he has like made his decision up that he's not going to sign. So
yeah, but I don't even think that's been determined. He said he was gonna.
Well, you can't tell from the outside.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's not going to come out and say it to anyone in the outside. You'll know if they trade him. If they trade him now, you know that Lindholm was not going to sign that.
Yeah, but I still think they're not going to do it before the trade deadline.
I would agree with you there. You would think they would want to get max value for it for sure. And that's where you get max value. So
$55 gets you in the rink against the Penguins in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, go. You gotta go, man. You gotta go.
I'm going. She lives like 20 minutes away from the arena.
Go Saturday. That's awesome. Well, and Pittsburgh, they got worked by the Leafs, but then they won their next game. This is going to be interesting. I definitely like the Sens. We'll preview those Saturday games. We'll preview those Saturday games Friday with Rico in Ottawa. So that'll be cool.
That would be great. Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and preview tomorrow's massive slate. It's going to take us the rest of the night. I don't know how we're going to do it.
Three games tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope you guys stay with us and don't get too bored. By the way, the Colorado Avalanche lost to the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago ends their 4-game losing streak. And the third period just started. It is the Yotes versus the Senators. That same Senators team that Rico is going to see on Saturday. Rico, I really want to get a full scouting report on Ottawa Senators. So, and Gabby says it's going to be a good game.
They're definitely not booing Carlson.
No, they'll cheer him. I want Hannafin to Detroit. I took him for granted. He's fun to watch. Salty, I got you. Yeah, he's a good player. I put the live bet LA in regulation for Perlo. Thank you for that live pick, Perlo. Tomorrow's 3 games. We got the Islanders. They're looking like a wagon against my Caps. The Islanders are actually a road dog plus 102. Caps been playing pretty good. They just came off a win from Carolina. I'm loving how the Caps are playing defensively, but still Ovi's not scoring. It's kind of sad. It's breaking my heart. He's only 67 goals away from Gretzky. I like the Islanders. They're playing good hockey. And now it's a back-to-back, so we probably get Varlamov because Sorokin played tonight against Edmonton, and it is in D.C. I updated it, Andrew. Thank you so much. If you look at the scores, if somebody can tell me the new emojis I have for 2 teams, I changed 2 emojis that are in the banner. I will Venmo you $25. Okay, or Cash App you or whatever. Tell me what teams if you're paying attention. But I changed some emojis for our team logos down there. In Perlo and Rico, you don't get the $25. You're part of the show. I'll just reinvest it in sending you like a new microphone or something. What do you think, Perlo, on the Capitals Islanders?
Well, one thing I think it's going to be under the total, but I think after that high, like they worked hard against the Oilers tonight. Washington is kind of a roll the dice type team. I like Islanders. I like the first period draw.
Okay.
And I don't know what I like after that because I think Washington's going to want to come out hard here too. So maybe both teams will score or something like that. But
if the Caps score first, they win the game. That's almost a guarantee. That's just the way it has been for them. But
the Islanders put out a lot of energy tonight to beat the Oilers. So I don't think Washington is something that I don't think it's. it's a tough spot for the Islanders. In the end, though, I think they probably win. I probably agree with you. I would probably take the
Yeah, I'm with the Islanders. I think it will be Charlie Lindgren in net, though.
Yeah, so like under seems like for sure.
Salty's like Horvat somehow over a point per game. Well, he's playing good hockey and he's supposed to be a good player, and they're paying him like he's a good player, Salty. So I'm kind of glad to see that from him. It's good for them. I'm not hating on the Islanders. We're gonna have Kim on here. I'm gonna try to have Isles Girl 3 on here real soon. So just the problem is they've been playing a lot. So love to try to get her tomorrow. See if she's not. I'll reach out to her again. See if we can get her after the Caps and Islanders play.
What do you think?
I agree. I don't think they should fire Lambert either. Rico, what are your thoughts on the Islanders Caps?
Oh man,
over under is 5.5. By the way,
yeah, it's gonna be a tight game. I mean, Islanders are on rest. Caps
the Caps are on rest. Islanders play tonight.
Yeah.
You got to think Capitals. Yeah,
Okay,
win against the Oilers. Islanders beat the Oilers tonight, so I think they lose to the Caps. But I'm gonna have to pick closer to the game. It could be a draw game.
Yeah, that seems like a draw game to me.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be low scoring.
Yeah.
I'd go draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Perlo and I both like the Caps and are the Isles, excuse me, and Rico likes the Caps. Okay.
I think the Isles might pull it through, but
Kraken and Kings. Both these are TNT games, by the way. Kraken at Kings.
Kraken Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Kraken on regular rest. Their second game of the road trip. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. Both teams are on rest. Eek. I mean, depends how LA plays tonight. If they beat San Jose,
LA just scored.
Game, but
LA just scored.
Okay, good. I laid a few bucks on them regulation.
Kopitar. Kopitar. 6, Rico. I got it on the thing there.
That's like a total Seattle spot, but it's hard to trust Seattle right now. So, like they're not playing very well. But they should have the upper hand here. I'd take Seattle first period money line.
I like that too because the Kings are coming back from San Jose.
Yeah.
And then they're coming home to play the Kraken. I know it's not far and stuff, but still Seattle's sitting there waiting for them.
The Kings are at home. They're not going to Seattle. The Kings are at home.
Yeah, so they're in San Jose. They're home against the Kraken.
That's a 20-minute flight for LA from San Jose.
Yeah, it's not really about the flight. It's about the activity that you have to do to get to back home. You're only playing Seattle.
Kings are home through the
Seattle's
holidays.
been sitting there waiting for them, so their coach has had time to give them everything that they need to know to win this game, and they didn't really have a great road trip. So I think Seattle will come out hard here. I can't trust them to win the game, but I'll give them at plus 125 to win the first period. I'll give them that, especially with who's playing in net for LA tonight.
Oh, I did not see. I'm guessing it's. I think Copley is injured, so I'm guessing it's. It is Talbot. I think they had to bring up their minor league guy because I think Copley got banged up. So, don't quote me on that. I'll have to look and see.
No, it's Rittich. Rittich is.
Yeah, big save Dave. Oh, big save Dave. There you go.
That's why. That's why I had a hard time betting on LA to win this game.
Yeah, but Rittich is playing all right. Honestly, I don't trust Copley. I think Seattle.
Well, Copley's injured. Tomorrow. It will be Talbot.
Oh, it'll be Talbot against Seattle. Eesh, that makes it tough.
Yeah, I like LA. I'm just gonna pick LA.
I like the draw. Seattle first period, maybe the draw.
I'm not overthinking this.
No.
been dog shit this year.
I think you might be right in the end of the day here that LA's not really trying that hard against San Jose here.
I thought you said they
Seattle,
were.
Seattle is yeah. So, you know what? Now, the more I think about it, I think you're probably right. That's Seattle tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Or sorry, LA tomorrow. LA tomorrow, not Seattle. LA tomorrow. The more I think about it now, they're really taking.
You're overthinking it. It's LA. You're overthinking.
Seattle can't score. They can't score.
That's
and LA is such a good defensive team.
And they're missing Burakovsky. They've got some injuries there of guys who could. I think McCann is out now for them too. So it's just like it's not even close.
Well, okay.
This is here, let me just go through this real quick, Perlo. Justin Schultz, day-to-day. Burakovsky out. Schwartz out. Belmar out. Grubauer out.
I know who's out. Yeah.
And Copley's out. Arvidsson's out. And Gavrikov is out for LA. And Kaliev is day-to-day with an illness. So Kaliev could play, but he's not playing.
I know it's my best bet.
Who's getting chippy in the Arizona-Ottawa game?
Over 1.5.
Chitrin going at it with, is that Schmaltz? No.
Over 1.5 first period.
I'm watching this game too.
This is the Alex B. Smith play. Over 1.5 first period. That's what I like.
The Kings are so deep, Salty. I'm just not worried about them at all. They're going to win this game. Okay, last game, Red Wings at Jets. And I'll just go the over-under on that game. Oh, I had the over-under for you here.
Yeah.
I had it. The over-under 6.5.
I'm taking the peg.
That's DraftKings, by the way, guys. These are all DraftKings.
Winnipeg in regulation all day.
So, but here's here's the problem. This is the problem. Yeah, Winnipeg looks like a wagon, right? We didn't talk about the best teams in the West. We'll do that before we have our closing thoughts. Here's who Detroit's missing: Alex Lyon, Klim Kostin, Luff, and Ville Husso. So basically, their number 1 and 2 goalies are out. And that good thing they kept Reimer. and Winnipeg is missing Connor, Kupari, and Heinola. Winnipeg looks so good. But Detroit's plus 136. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. It's a nice plus money play.
Yeah. I mean, I would maybe take the plus money play on Detroit just because I think they're 1-4-1 since Patrick Kane side. There, but they've had a ton of injuries. Larkin's not even listed on. Oh, is Larkin going to play? He must be back.
He was in last game. Yeah.
Okay, so Larkin's back. Okay, so we'll see. Hey Jay, nice to see you. I knew after Sunday's game we were going to lose the game tonight, but the result was not what I expected. I thought we would lose in overtime.
Winnipeg lost to the Canadians at home. They're not going to lose to Detroit at home. I'm on Winnipeg all day there.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, Rico, how about you?
I agree too. I mean, the Wings haven't been playing well since, I know with their injuries and stuff, but since Kane's got there, they haven't played the greatest. So I like Winnipeg coming off.
Well, they're missing their 2 best goalies.
I know, and 3 losses in a row. And back to that, they just signed Michael Hutchinson to a two-way contract.
That means Lyon and the injury to Lyon and Husso are bad, and they're both lower body injuries. I wonder too, man, like if that's like, do you have a good conditioning coach there? Like, I know these guys don't practice as much anymore, but you got to go, hey guys, there's some conditioning stuff you need to be doing to stay in game shape.
I told you guys the story about Michael Hutchinson in high school, with the guy that I work with. He was in class with Michael Hutchinson here in Barrie. He played for the Barrie Colts, and he got a text mid-class signed in the NHL for a contract, and he just put his hands up and he's like, "That's it. I'm going to the NHL. I'm out of here." And he walked out of class and never even went back to high school, never played another junior game. He got signed to the NHL.
Yeah, he's been in the league a while, hasn't he? I guess it's worked out for him.
Yeah, he's did all right. He's made a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay.
Told me that story when he was with him and BJ Cronbreen and Brian Little, those guys, when they played for the Colts. He's like, Michael Hutchinson was in class and he just put his arms up. He's like, I'm out of here. I just signed to a NHL contract.
I think Brian Little's still making some serious cash in the NHL, even though he's not playing.
He is.
I think he's on the
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, I hate to tell you this, buddy, but nobody feels sorry for you, man. The Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup in their 6th year. They are playing fine. They lost to a team that desperately needed a win, that's trying to stay in a playoff position, and the Canes. And they were actually a road dog, which a lot of people took a flyer on Vegas. I wasn't surprised to see the Canes come out and actually score some goals tonight.
I had the Canes in that game.
Sure. I would not be stressed. Yeah, I did not. I had Vegas. I think Rico and you both had the Canes. But wasn't Vegas a plus? Every radio show I listened to today picked Vegas. I think Daily Faceoff, Real Kipper, plus 136 for the Vegas Golden Knights on the road. Hey, let's just say this. Vegas is a good team, but you knew
I've
Coach
said it again, and I've said it before. I'm not a Thompson fan, and I'm not a Thompson fan. You had Hill in there. I'll take Vegas at plus 136.
Okay.
Thompson.
Well, I mean, that was very evident tonight. They gave up 6 goals. But I was talking with some Carolina fans, too. Carolina was due. I mean, in the game against the Caps, I think they had to post 3 times. Sometimes you just don't get the puck luck. Tonight, they scored some goals. The fact that Svechnikov got his 2nd goal this season, he just has not come back from that surgery looking like
he missed the last 6 games. That's 1 goal in his first game back after missing 6, and he got the first one of the night. Good on Svechnikov.
No, but Rico, I think he didn't even start the season. He was still coming back from that.
Well, I know that, but he still missed the last 6 games.
Oh yeah, they need him though. Like, that's the guy. Oh, and Arizona just scored, by the way, to make it. I think that's 3-2, right? Yep, 3-2. Look at Jacques Martin. Looks like he never left the bench. Okay, well, let's get to your closing thoughts, guys. What are your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts was going to be Svechnikov good to get a goal after missing 6 games. Another one is this Horvat point streak. Most of them are goals, but he's all of a sudden we were talking about Horvat and Kadri, who's the worst contract in the NHL right now. Horvat's come back strong, man.
Kadri's been playing well too, hasn't he, for Calgary? So
he has, but like Horvat's been amazing. And another thing I noticed tonight was Quinn Hughes got his 40th point of the year, which is nice. So now I'm thinking, I know Bedard regresses a little bit without Hall and Perry there. This is the hot take of the night here, brought to you by Hot Take Hockey, but by me. Can the Hughes brothers have a sweep in the major awards this year?
No,
Jack, Quinn, and Luke, could they all take home the major 3 awards?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll go there, but it's a possibility.
There's a lot of time left.
My final thoughts is I did think Vancouver was going to be a bubble team and probably make the playoffs, but I'm riding Vancouver now. This team in this spot to win like they did tonight. This is a team, and Demko is winning the Vezina.
Ooh, hot take, Perlo.
Demko is winning the Vezina. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that is
right.
Almost a.
I still have my Freddie Anderson bet sitting in the bottom of my open bets on my betting thing. Every time I look at my bets that are open, I see Freddie Anderson at 40-1. I'm like,
Arizona tied it up. Clayton Keller 3-3.
No way.
Yep, Clayton Keller 3-3, and that is.
Oh no, I don't want that to happen. My gosh, Ottawa is doing the same shit that they've always done.
Hey, sometimes a spade is a spade, right?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe just a spade is
sometimes
a spade.
When the betting world is on one side of the mountain, shit flows downhill too.
Wow.
I don't have any closing thoughts. I just am super stoked that it's proven that Bo Horvat and Nazem Kadri listen to our show. That's proven statistically based on their play after we talked bad about them. I'm just going to say it. If it's not true, prove me wrong. It's me like a U.S. politician and throw shit out there and hope it sticks to the wall. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. There's only a 3-game slate, and so the game that will be live for us will be that Kings-Kraken game. Live with the Biz Nasty and all those guys on TNT. What feed do you guys get in Canada? Do you guys get the TNT feed there, or is that the...
Oh yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it.
I'm so happy I don't have to stream that game because it'll be on TNT and they can't regionally black it out, which is the biggest joke of all. So nice Arizona tied it up. All right, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Oh, do you have something else?
Nothing.
Oh,
I know the Ice guys called this game to be under the total too, with Jacques Martin behind the bench, and Ottawa's going to play defensively and structure and all this. And
in one game on the road? Nope, sorry.
There's no way you're going to do that.
Arizona's winning 4-3, baby, in regulation. Book it.
There's